Hey, college football fans. Big 12 night tonight, and I hope you're ready because we're going to talk about stadiums in the Big 12, good, bad, or otherwise. So stay tuned, and we're going to be hitting it up. Guys, I'll tell you what, I'm solo tonight. You just got me and me only. So without any further ado, I'm going to talk to you a little bit about what's going on in the Big 12. And I see we have some folks in the chat. The old standbys there, Kelly, Tim. Good to see you guys. So tonight we're going to change it up a little bit. We're going to talk about the stadiums, okay? But before we get in the stadiums, I want to go a little off the cuff, okay? I was thinking about Utah. And I know Utah has been getting a lot of heat. And they've been getting a lot of publicity because they're a good team, okay? They're a good team. Guys, they are. Good team, weak schedule, combination of both puts them high in the polls. West Virginia scheduled some tough opponents for the first couple weeks. They got Penn State, and then 2 weeks later they got Pitt. Utah didn't schedule that great of a schedule, but we're hating on them. And we're hating on them because come on, West Virginia fans, and I'm talking because I'm a West Virginia fan. I have the hat on. If we think back to 2007 or 2005 or 2012 when Geno Smith was there, you guys had a little bit of a swagger. Utah has a little bit of that swagger now. They think they're in a conference that's weaker than what they came from. Maybe that was the case because last year the Pac-12 was fantastic. Fantastic. They did lose to Oregon State and a crappy UCLA, but Oregon State was good. So they had 4 losses last year, if I'm correct. And now they're looking to just roll everybody up. And that's what everybody's telling us is going to happen. Do I think it's going to happen? No. Do I think they're going to be playing in the Big 12 championship? I would give them more than the 50% chance, okay? Now, do I think they're going to win the Big 12? I don't think they are. But I'm giving them a pass on, I saw a meme. It said the new trolls of the Big 12 and had a Utah fan. No, come on, guys. Got to give them some credit. They got some swagger. They're happy. They're excited. Every fan wishes they could be in that spot, thinking their team can make a run into the playoff, get into the playoffs, and really make some waves in the regular season. So I had to take a step back. Yeah, they're irritating. Yeah, but who isn't? Weren't Alabama fans irritating? Weren't Texas fans irritating? Oklahoma fans? If you have a good program and you're winning, people are going to hate on you. Okay? I just wanted to clear the air there. Let's see who we have in the mouth of the mountains. What's up, Mountaineer Nation? Hey, well, good to see you, Mouth of the Mountains. And Jackson Johnson, you old so-and-so. What's up, Mountaineer Nation? So this is broadcast on the Big 12 channel and the West Virginia channel because no matter how hard Joey and I try, and Joey's out a little bit under the weather today, so feel better, Joey. No matter how hard Joey and I try, we can't help but hide that we're Mountaineer fans, okay? So I curb it a little bit. Some days I'm better than others, but today I'm wearing blue and gold underwear, so good luck. When I was talking with Joey about today's show, I was thinking, that wouldn't be fair because I've only been to a handful of Big 12 stadiums. Okay. I've been to a lot of stadiums in general, but just Big 12, there's just been a handful. And that's just because of location. I've been to Corvallis, Eugene, that's Oregon State, Michigan State, Penn State, Rutgers, West Point, Tulane, LSU, Auburn. I'm trying to think of Virginia Tech, Syracuse. I'm trying to think of anybody else I'm missing. I think that covers it, guys. That's a pretty good list of stadiums. Oh, Manhattan, Kansas. I've been out there. That was a lot of fun. That was a really good game day atmosphere. So, as far as more Oklahoma. I've been out in Oklahoma. Yeah. So yeah, but I haven't been there on a game day. But guys, so that's what I'm going to compare this to. So we're going to start by showing you the list. Then we're going to talk about the list. And then I'm going to give you my favorites. So here we go. You guys ready? I don't know if you're ready. Make myself little. Put this bad boy in here. So here we go. Starting off. All the Dana Holgorsen haters. Brian, last week, he showed no, he didn't hold back at all on his feelings on Dana Holgorsen. So this list here, ladies and gentlemen, is based off of capacity. Okay. So in my opinion, capacity equals energy. Okay. At Mountaineer Field, I looked at the top 20 games of all time, and I attended 9 of them. Okay. To include the number one game that's in attendance, which was 70,000 fans. I grew up going to Penn State games. So Beaver Stadium, I'm aware of like the atmosphere of 100,000 fans. Okay. I got it, But in the Big 12, I thought let's equate energy to attendance. Okay. And then we're going to talk about maybe game day atmosphere. But there's the rankings right now. I'd love to see in the comment section. Yeah, Kelly, I love the Brian interview too. So, okay, Mouth of the Mountains. There we go. Okay. So, Houston, they're tied for 15. Okay. So, it's the largest credit union in Houston, right? So that's what the stadium's named after. So the next one on the list is, let me scroll down here. Cincinnati's Nippert Stadium holds 40,000. I've driven past the stadium. I haven't been, actually like close enough to walk through. I've never been there for a game day. But it holds 40,000. That's small for college football. It's pretty much average across all of the college football programs is about anywhere from 35 to 45,000. So that's right in the sweet spot. I have it tied for 15. Wet blanket. There are a lot of less energy stadiums and that seat more than Boone Pickens. Yes, Acrisure Stadium. I'm not even going to talk about Heinz Field because that's not a college stadium. Okay, that's a pro. It's Acrisure now. It's the Pitt Panthers are squatting. So I'll go on my tangent. The Pitt Panthers are squatting on the Steelers' premises. That's all I have to say. Okay. Yeah, they are. 14, we got TCU. Okay. Now on game day, I think it might be more electric. We have it a 14th for just what the capacity is. That can't hold more people. I'm sure they can fit in 48,000 if they had to. Okay. Mountaineer Field used to hold more people, but they cleared out that end zone. So, it used to be the tiniest stadium in the Big 12, but it isn't anymore. I think TCU has a fantastic program. Love the unis. The fans are fantastic. But as far as capacity goes, we're ranking it, and they're at 14. Baylor. Guys, you build a stadium, okay? I know you don't want to have empty seats, okay? But you can kind of make it look like it's more full than it is. Like maybe having a section closed off or, But when you build a stadium and you spend the amount of money they spent on this stadium and you have 45,000 butts in seats. Now, Baylor 10 years ago when they made the stadium was having a fantastic run. And they were top 5 for a couple years there. They're kind of on a downswing. They're suffering a little bit, but the facilities, they're at 13. But just imagine getting in your pontoon boat, rolling up to the stadium after having a few margaritas. Not that you're driving the boat and drinking, but got some little captain's hat on and ascot doing that for you, like the skipper. Roll up there for game day. I think this place would be in my top 5, okay? Top 5. But right now, 13 for attendance. How many butts in the seats? Okay, guys. Kansas. I talk a lot about Kansas on this program. Like Kansas, like Lawrence. Great college atmosphere. Great game day atmosphere. But it's number 12, okay? Guess what? It's not going to be number 12 in a couple of years because they're getting a brand new stadium. They're getting new digs, ladies and gentlemen. Tim Green, did you know Pitt can call you that field, whatever? It's always Heinz Field to me. Yes, it is. We were talking about that last night on the Steelers Dynasty podcast. We had Mike Alsty on. He was fantastic. You can watch it. Mike went off on the schedule. And just to let you know, I'm really excited Taylor Swift's coming to Pittsburgh. Just saying. I don't really like her songs, but I think she's going to bring great energy. Kansas. I don't know. You're going to be in the top tier of the Big 12 pretty soon with having a good program. You're winning some ball, recruiting well. Got a good coach, going to have an excellent stadium. You're no longer going to be the cellar dwellers, guys. You're now going to be maybe even in the penthouse. All right. What's next? Let's see here. UCF. I like this picture from the corner end zone, corner of the field there. Kind of see the sun setting. That's college football there. That picture there sums it up. They call it the bounce house. Guys, I think this would be a tough place to play. It's number 11 on our list, but probably not far out of my top 10, or not top 5. Maybe in my top 5. We'll talk about it a little later. But what are your thoughts so far? Kansas State, home of Willie the Wildcat. Okay, I think it was around 2001. I went to a game there, and they played Ozzy Osbourne's Crazy Train, and they had this like pseudo train come out, and it was loud. The music was loud. The crowd was loud. It was a lot of fun. A lot of fun. The facade or the stone on the side of that building, if you can see there, is like a limestone. It reminds me of West Point. Very historic looking. Very 1920s. I don't know exactly when that stadium was built, but it looks not antiquated, but it looks it not dated. Those are all bad things. It looks historic, very historic. Yeah. So Now it's called Bill Snyder Family Stadium. You know, you don't have to be a family to go there, but 50,000 butts in the bleachers are screaming, cheering on Woody the Wildcat and the K-State football team. What's next on our list? Okay, Folsom Field. Guys, imagine you're sitting right where this picture's taken, and you're looking out and you see, it looks like it's maybe October, and you're looking, you can see the mountains in the distance, the Rocky Mountains. And, you know, that big buffalo runs out on the field, and those guys are behind it with their cowboy boots. What a great atmosphere, huh? You know, and they're playing at altitude, you know, 50,000 people. You know, the difference between, 15 and 9, we're only talking a few thousand, okay? Now, the difference between 9 and, like, number 1, you're talking maybe 15 or 20, okay? Now, the difference between, you know, a big 12 and a big 10 program, you're talking double the capacity, guys, unless you're Northwestern or Vanderbilt. All right, Arizona Stadium. You know, holds about the same. You know what? I would call these two a draw, okay? The stadium looks a lot newer, even though it was built in 1929. Back in 1929, it says right there, it holds 7,000 people. I didn't even know that. 1929, Arizona hadn't been a state very long, rather than having a state school, land grant school. But that's a beautiful venue. Look at this mountains in the back. You know, you see all those fans in that stadium. Looks like a good time. I could smell people cooking some fine food, you know. But is it a top 5? I don't know. I don't know, guys. I don't know. I don't have the background knowledge to kind of weigh in on that. But if I had, like, if Shane had 15,000 discretionary funds, Shane, you have to go to these stadiums. Would it make my list? I'd probably go to a few more before that one. Go to a few more stadiums before that one. Colorado would be one. TCU would be one. BYU would be before, before Arizona. Okay, just saying. Utah. We talk about Utah. Okay, this is a stadium that was remodeled for the Olympics. Would it be that nice if the Olympics didn't come there 20 years ago? I don't know. You see a lot of things online where you see Olympic stadiums from 15, 20, 30 years ago that are run down, and it just looks creepy as hell. But this looks like one of those scenic. You're sitting there, you can see the sunset, the mountains. You can just smell that nice, crisp, dry air. Man, I can put my butt in that seat and just taste and smell it. But 51,000 fans, Utah, number 7. There's still maybe a few I would go to before that, but it probably has a good atmosphere. All right, ladies and gentlemen, Arizona State, Mountain America Stadium. Okay. Oh, that's another picture of Utah. Here we go. Arizona State. I don't have a picture for Arizona State. Sorry, kids. Let's move on to Boone Pickens, number 5. Guys, this would have to be on my list. The top 5 to go to. Have to say. Okay. Like to say, a nighttime there, Boone's picking. The Oklahoma State fans are batshit crazy. Just gonna say it. I said it. You guys, you Cowboys are batshit crazy. You know it. Night games, Jack Trice, Sun Devil Stadium has more. Yeah. Julian Smith. Yeah. Thanks. Yeah. Night games. So yeah, Sun Devil Stadium. Let's go back up there. I'm gonna roll back up to Sun Devil Stadium. I don't have any pictures of it, but like I was looking at it earlier, and I don't know why it didn't save, but it was very scenic and very pretty. And I really can't say enough about it. Just other than, would it rank in my top 5? I don't know. There's other ones I would want to go to first. Okay, just saying. And Boone Pickens is one of the top 5. And I'll go through that after I talk your ear off tonight about freaking stadiums. You'll be stadiumed out after this, or you'll want to get your season tickets to some program. But Texas Tech, don't have pictures for that one, but that would be that's definitely a top 5 for me. So I don't even have to show you pictures. Guns up. You know what I mean? I don't even know if they can say that now. They used to say guns up, but I think with today's day and age, you can't say that. Okay. Now I'm going to talk about Mountaineer Field, and Mountaineer fans are going to get pissed at me. You ready to get pissed, Tim? Callie, you ready to get mad at me? I love them singing Country Roads. Okay. It has one of the best traditions in college football. They just spent some money. Kind of, what did they do? Okay. You guys are going to get mad. Did you ever rent a house or live in a house where the bathroom's from the 30s and it's pink, and then they paint over that pink towel and they try to make it look pretty and it still looks dated? They put lipstick on a pig. I said it. Milan Puskar Stadium is bland, boring. It is. I love Morgantown. I love the people. You couldn't get better people in a bland stadium, and that spices up. Okay, it's like having white rice and just putting spices in. Okay, that's Mountaineer Field, because the stadium it's just cement. It doesn't look. It's kind of like I would compare it to looking at Kansas's stadium. It's very, it's nice what they did with the upgrades. Okay. But you need, the press box probably needed to be redone. There's so many. They removed a section where, an end zone section where they could fit 7,500 butts. Okay. Now, even in a weak college football year, they're still getting 55,000 people in the stands, guys. But when it's hopping, 1993, 70,000. Okay, for that Miami game, 70,000 people. It was butts to nuts. Okay, I'm talking sweaty, crazy, butts to nuts, rabid Mountaineer fans. I love that stadium. Guys, it's not going to make my top 5. I'm a season ticket holder, and I'm telling you, it's not going to make my top 5. What are your thoughts? I want to hear the hate. Hit me up. I want to hear it. Iowa State, Jack Trice Stadium. Guys, this is the stadium that looks like it should be in another conference. That end zone right there. There's people laying in the grass, it's the baseball World Series in Williamsport, where the kids are all sitting in the grass just watching. Guys, this looks like a good time. It looks like a fantastic time. Stadium kind of looks like Mountaineer Field, which I just crapped on, but it can fit a lot of folks in there. I don't know. Looks like a good time. Would it be in my top 5? I don't know. I think I want to go to BYU first. Pull up in a boat, being out on the river, drinking some Mai Tais and some margaritas, maybe some, I don't know, what are some good drinks, guys? Hurricanes, yeah. Go down to Baton Rouge and make a hurricane. That's a good one there. But, guys, number 1, BYU. Okay. This is number 1 for attendance, for, how many butts you can put in the seats. But I would have to say this picture, man, isn't that beautiful? The colors and the layers of those mountains, okay? Breathtaking. It's probably, it looks like a bowl. It looks like not like a very updated stadium. It was built in 64, okay? So it kind of doesn't fall in the the kind of the cool 1920s style, But like if you ever see like modern architecture from the 60s, it's kind of blah, But it's just the scene there. The scenery is fantastic. Mountaineer Field, you're looking at Ruby Memorial Stadium, which is fantastic. The kids are watching. Sometimes they watch the game, kind of like Iowa does. But BYU, it's definitely my top 5. Comments. What do you guys think? Think it sucks? My top 5? I'm going to go back through them again, okay? So, who's going to make my top 5? BYU, definitely. Let's go back up here. Mountaineer Field's not making my top 5, guys. Boone Pickett, top 5. Boone Pickett at night. Julian Smith, you're right. Awesome. Yeah. Okay, I'm going to get into that in a little bit, Julian. I'm going to talk about West Virginia getting the frickin' shaft and not getting Penn State at night. Notre Dame's going to be playing. Who gives a shit? I don't know who's Notre Dame playing. I can't even remember because I'm mad. But we'll get back into that. Mountain State. Yeah, I don't know. Arizona State's Utah, and it's 6, guys. Utah's at 6. I'll tell you, Utah's at 6. Arizona Stadium, I'm going to say at 5. I'm putting them at 5. Colorado is in the top 5. Kansas State, you're at 6. Because I already been there, done that. UCF, top 5. Kansas, no, your stadium sucks. Baylor, top 5. We already talked about that one. And that's it. That's my top 5, ladies and gentlemen. Mic drop. Now, let's talk about Penn State, West Virginia, and how it's bad for the Big 12. What's bad? Why is it bad for the Big 12? Well, let me tell you why it's bad for the Big 12. Let me make myself a little bit smaller. Don't mind me. I'm techno-tarded. All right. So, today, this is my gateway to the news, right? How I make myself smart or stupider, okay? And I said it on shows in the past. I'm like, guys, black unis. West Virginia's going to play at night. They're going to play Penn State. They're going to be in white. Lights are going to be shining down on all the fans in black. That's not going to happen. I don't know if it's a 1 o'clock game, but it's not a freaking 8 o'clock game. Mountaineers are going to be playing Penn State at like 1. That's not great for the Big 12. That's a dinger of a matchup. It's a freaking no. I'm sorry, Michigan. Let me look up who's playing. Who's the premier game there? Because I got so mad. It's Michigan, guys. Michigan game to be televised at 8 p.m. 31 August, right? 2024. NBC. Yeah, NBC is going to have the primetime game against Fresno State. Fresno State. Fresno State. I don't even know what conference Fresno State's in now. I don't care. Fresno State. I'll just keep saying Fresno State. So Michigan, on the heels of the 2023 national title, announced Monday it'll begin its title defense on 7:30, August 31st on NBC against Fresno State. I'll tell you what, guys, West Virginia better have another, be another game on at night, or I'm going to lose my shit. First of all, my kid probably has a JV game that day at like 10 in the morning. And they play Friday night, so he's going to be tired. I want to go get my Dizzy bat on. spin around, hit a beer can. You know what that's about, right? Dizzy bat. I don't even drink. I want to eat some hot dogs, some hamburgers, shoot the bologna with people I haven't seen in a year. You know, sing country roads, play some Sweet Caroline, and say eat shit pit. I want to do that. I can't do that when I get down to the stadium at 10 a.m. Park. What, do I have an hour for shenanigans? How many hours of shenanigans do you need for a good tailgate? Too long. Like the LSU game, when West Virginia played LSU, it was 8 o'clock game. People were passed out at like noon. So sometimes that's too long. But how long is long enough for shenanigans? Shenanigans, right? We all know what shenanigans are. You wander through different tailgates, you know, eating muffins. Maybe there's some artichoke heart dip. Maybe someone has some shine. I'm going to pick up some butterscotch shine. I've never had butterscotch. I usually get peach or apple. Peach or apple. Guys, comments. Peach, apple, butterscotch. I think you could make maybe some white Russians with that butterscotch. I love me a white Russian. Ever since the Big Lebowski. But, so, shenanigans. How long is what's the perfect time for tailgating? I'd say about 3 hours. Now, if you are staying there overnight in an RV, get up, cook some eggs around 9, 10 o'clock, and then start tailgating, I think that would be good. But if you're coming in, I live 2 hours from Morgantown. Not bad. Just swing down 79. You know, I usually park at the Coliseum and walk over. You know, you can take the bus. I know this is the Big 12 show, but it's good for the Big 12 to have some premier games. Let's look and see what Utah has. Utah's first game. And yeah, everybody's crapping on Utah because Utah's crapping on everybody else. So you give and you get. But they are the new kids in town. They should keep their mouth shut. But on the back end, they do have an easy schedule and a good team. Combination of that, what comes out? Good season, right, baby? That's the baby that comes out. Easy schedule, good team equals a playoff berth. They're going to get in the playoffs. Utah's schedule. Let me Google that crap. No, I don't want to see the baseball schedule. Now the Utes. I love the Indian names for college sports. I always think they're fantastic. Cleveland had the tribe, and that was fantastic. Seminoles, oh my gosh, growing up when they were playing Miami, and they were just doing the tomahawk chop, it'd give you goosebumps, make you just geeked up. So Utah plays. Let me share this. We'll talk about their easy schedule, guys. If I can get smart with technology, if you can bear with me. You know, in the Army, used to say you have to be 10% smarter than your equipment. And I have never been able to make that mark. 8%, maybe, but not 10%. 10% smarter. So share screen. Yes, thank you very much. I will. And here we go. All right. So here's the schedule. Boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen. Let's make it a little bigger, right? That's what she said. Let's make it a little bigger. Come on. Oh, control. There we go. Man. Southern Utah. Okay, they're playing a directional school. West Virginia's a directional school, but it's a state. So what do you think? That's an easy win. That's a Thursday night game. We get to watch Utah on Thursday night. I'm excited about that. I can dig that. Last night we were talking, and my buddy Bubba is hating on the fact that games need to be played. I get it. For professional football, Sundays is the day. Okay, but I do dig, and I'm probably biased because I loved those Big East games on Thursday night. Okay, I loved watching those games, Virginia Tech and West Virginia. So give me Utah and Southern Utah on Thursday. I will be eyeballs on the screen watching that. Okay, guys, they play Baylor. Okay, it's Salt Lake City, Utah, playing Baylor. Even if Baylor's bad, we're going to get an idea how good Utah is with this game on the 7th. Then they play Utah State again. And then when we were doing the Pick'em show with the Magic 8 Ball Mondays, if you don't know, you're missing out. This Magic 8 Ball is creepy. Okay? We shake this bad boy up and we pick the games. When Utah plays Oklahoma State, that's where we see, that's the compass check. We will know if Utah is legit or if we're going to have the same good team that falls short like they did last year. Okay, they had no business losing to UCLA and Oregon State. Washington, Oregon, I can see that. That's good. No problem. I have no problem with that. You don't lose to Oregon State. And Oregon State was good last year, but you don't lose to UCLA. UCLA was garbage. Hot, stinky, July, barf in your car, windows up, just ate fast food. Garbage. Yeah, Wet Blanket says Oklahoma State gives Utah their first conference loss. You know what, guys? I have not been sharing messages. See, I miss Joey so much because I don't know. I can't chew gum, walk, and talk at the same time. So let's talk about these comments real quick, and then we'll go roll down through the schedule. Like I said, Wet Blanket, Oklahoma State gonna give Utah their first non-conference loss. Would it be good for the Big 12? I don't know. Jury's out. At this point, if Utah has 1 or 2 losses, it's okay for the Big 12, but you don't want a conference champion that has 3 losses. Tim Green, my main man. I wish we could have had a night game playing against Penn State. Sorry we've been on prime time, but as long as we win, I don't care when we play. No, Tim, I want it at night. Half of me wants it at night. The other half doesn't want to drag around a sweatshirt. Because I'm that guy. Walk around with a sweatshirt and all the tailgates. Gets all funky. One sleeve gets wet. Smell like Pringles, stale bear, and sadness. Jackson Johnson, what did you say? Penn State will definitely be a noon kickoff. Jackson, you suck. You're right, though. It is going to be a noon kickoff. Oh, shoot. But let's get back to Arizona. Another home game. Another decent team. They're playing home. Oklahoma State, they got to go down to Oklahoma and play at Boone Pickens. And I think they're going to lose. Yeah, Oklahoma State. Just saying. Cowboys, baby. All right. Arizona. I don't know. I really don't know. I'm going to watch that first game for each of these teams and be able to tell you. But right now, I can't call it. Arizona State. I think Utah will win that. Let's scroll down. Arizona State. Yeah, I give it to them. Utes, October 11th, a Friday game. Oh, I'm probably going to miss that one because of high school football. But Friday game. But it might be a later game. I might be able to catch the second half, But TCU. Man, every time, I tell you what, if I had to get a hall pass and cheat on the Mountaineers, it might be with TCU. I love their gear. I love that purple and the silver and that cute little horned frog. Looks like a lizard, but I think it's a lizard or frog. Maybe a lizard and a frog had a baby and had horns. It's just like a genetic abnormality. Anyways, as cute as the Dickens. And I love TCU color schemes. But enough about that. Me going all weird on you. Will they beat TCU? I think they will. I think they will. Houston, I think it's going to be a big W for the Utes. Let's look down some of these comments. Bob Seeger. We still say, guns up. This is Texas, baby. It's even on our helmets. Hell to the yeah. Bob Seeger. Guns up. I love that. I love that. I love the fact the mascot has a big head. Not a real person. Kind of scared at those mascots that aren't like, is that a person in it or is it animatronic? But Pistol Pete, is it right? Pistol Pete. When I was at West Point working, a guy 2 doors down always had the Texas Tech flag, and I always thought that was cool as shit. That guy riding in with the mask on and the pistols, and I'm just like, I'm getting all goosebump talking about it. I love college football. I am such a dork. I'm a sweaty, nerdy college football nerd. I am. If you are, give me a hell yeah in the comments section. Mountaineer Larry. Hi, everyone. Hi, Shane. Hi, Mountaineer Larry. Mountaineer Liar. Jesus, I can't read today. You know, I have to get reading glasses. I'll be 50 next year, and I have to get those cheaters. I'm doing this with the phone. It's terrible. That's why my screen's so damn big. So let's go through some more comments. Okay, were you considering our stadium renovations in your ranking? Bob, I did not. I just know that you have an awesome team, awesome fans, and it made my top 5. It's like right at 5. I probably picked 6 for my top 5. Maybe there's some ties in there. But I go by the field, okay? Just saying. I don't like going to Pitt. I don't like the backyard brawl. I'll go if it's in Morgantown. I live 45 minutes from the stadium, Acrisure Stadium. I probably won't go. I'll watch it on TV just because there's no atmosphere, Bob. Okay, there's no atmosphere. Texas Tech has atmosphere. Manhattan, Kansas has atmosphere. You know, I'm just saying. I got to feel it, you know. Auburn had atmosphere when I went down there, you know. You watch Army play anybody, and you think it's 1944, and Doc Blanchard's going to come out, okay? They had those Heisman studs for like 5 years in the 40s. It gives you the goosebumps, okay? The Corps Cadets, you know, you don't get that, you know. Penn State, not a Penn State fan, grew up going to Penn State games. They got a good atmosphere. Their tailgates are kind of you know, no pepperoni rolls. The girls aren't as pretty. I mean, they're not. I'm just saying. I went WVU for a reason, you know. So Bob, no, I didn't take those into consideration. What's Bob? Bob says A. Yeah, okay. Jackson Johnson, I wish BYU Utah was on Black Friday instead of UCF Utah. Jackson, we talked about that before, and you are so right. He goes, I mean, seriously, if you have to choose between Utah, BYU, Arkansas, Missouri, Nebraska, Iowa, Chiefs, Raiders, who would you pick? Yeah, I would pick out of that group Utah, BYU. I don't know any of those 3 college games. I'd pick Utah, BYU, then Nebraska and Iowa, but I like Arkansas. I used to room with a guy that was an Arkansas fan, and he was good people, man. Had me rooting for him. So, where did we leave off? We lost. Houston losing is where we left off. BYU, guys, don't sleep on the Cougars. Don't do it. Don't sleep on the Cougars. First of all, gnaw your face off. Right? Like maybe gnaw your face off. But more importantly, it's a great rivalry. That's going to be Saturday the 9th. Okay. So that one is right up there with TCU. I don't know, but I think Utah's going to have 2 losses. I just don't know if it's going to be TCU, BYU. The Buffs. Let's move on to the Buffs. They're playing in Boulder, Colorado. Deion Sanders and company. Okay, Deion Sanders. Love him or hate him. He brings eyeballs to the screens. I watched the Prime series. It was fantastic. I couldn't stop watching. If you saw the dining facility they had like lobster tails and steak one night, okay? What 19, 20-year-old meat hound of a young man is not going to just drop everything for lobster tails and steak, right? I know I'm not. Bob Seeger, you're now one of my super fans. I love you, man. I love to see this. Always liked West Virginia as a Tech fan. Got it. Okay. Besides Oklahoma State, I feel we're the most similar in the Big 12 culture. Yes, I believe so. However, y'all more because OSU is so similar, they're annoying. Yeah, that's true. I agree. You know, the fan base. I have a friend who used to be a season ticket holder. He's going to retire from the Air Force here next year. So thank you for your service. So Lieutenant Colonel Elford, I think then he was a major, used to drive to Fort Leonard Wood, Missouri from Oklahoma, pick my lazy ass up. We would ride the remaining 14 hours of his 21-hour trip to watch the Mountaineers play. Okay. So he has said that, yeah, OSU is very much like the Mountaineers. I believe it. Yeah, you're not the first person to say that. Jackson Johnson. I hope ESPN or Fox will give the BYU-Utah matchup the respect it deserves. I don't want to see it get screwed over in a time slot. Jackson Johnson, I'm going to tell you. I'm going to say it right now. So far, the Big 12 is getting it's getting screwed because they're just not getting the time slots, man. They're not getting the time slots. It's not happening. Yeah. Tim said, I agree, Jackson Johnson. I agree. I hope they play that at an appropriate time. Guys, scheduling is key. Okay? You have a conference where it has the most parity. Okay? If you want pure college football, it's still alive. It's still kicking. And where's it at? It's in the Big 12. Yeah. College football is still around. It's in the Big 12. It's not in the Big 10. You want to see Michigan beat up on Fresno State? Tune in 7:30 on NBC and be bored to freaking tears. Just saying. Fresno State, Michigan, tune in. Sorry, I'm not going to do that. There's so many more games I want to watch other than that bore fest. Watch Dr. Pimple Popper. Like comas and freaking ingrown hairs and whatnot. Sorry, not going to be watching Michigan. Not going to do it. Colorado, boo. Yeah, Colorado. Okay, let's talk about. We're just going to. Sorry, I was talking about Colorado. Neon Deion, guys, love him or hate him. It's entertaining. Okay, and the kids. I think it's going to be a hot mess just with the exodus. They can't get their. Doesn't seem like they can get their shit straight. I was buying in. I was taking the blue pill and believing what was happening with Deion Sanders. I was buying in when he went in and said, "Hey, only a few of you guys are going to be here because guess what? We're winners." Like, oh. And then at the end of the season, I liked it, but I didn't like it when he said to the offensive line, "You guys suck. I'm going to be getting some new big boys for the line. You know, pack your bags." And Shador, he's a good quarterback, but he's maybe got 8 quarterbacks that are studs in the Big 12. Okay. Is he the best? Maybe he's top 4. There's a lot of guys that are maybe as good. I mean, he did play hurt, but they had, I don't know, they had a lot of holes for having that lobster and steak in the dining facility. So Colorado, Utah, I think you're going to pull it out, guys, because I think Sanders' son is going to be hurt by then. I'm sorry to say it, but I don't think they fix that offensive line. I think the Buffs are going to be limping at that point. They're going to be a 500 team, just like last year. And I know Dion might be packing his bags to do something else. Or if they have an 8-win season, he's going to go be coaching somewhere else. So those 2 wins are going to make a big difference. Bob Seeger is a Texas Tech fan. I was acting. Like John Lovitz. Acting. Remember that from Saturday Night Live? If you're old, remember that. Iowa State. Guys, Iowa State, if they were playing at home, I would pick them. Cyclones would beat Utah if they're playing at home. But they're not. They're going to Salt Lake City. This schedule is soft. It's not because Iowa State's not good. It's they're getting the good teams at home. Okay? Right? Man. I think it's a win. Win for the Utes. UCF. What about UCF? Well, I think UCF is one of the teams that's going to handle Utah a loss. So they might have 2-3 losses. I think it's going to be 2 for sure. So to rehash, UCF, Arizona, and TCU. Any of those teams can it's one of those 3 teams is going to punch Utah in the mouth. And then the other team is going to definitely punch them in the mouth is Oklahoma State. I said it. Utah fans. Their team, like Coos, from Coos' Corner, that's the team he's rooting against. Okay? I don't know if I'm quite to that point. Like if it was there's like 4 teams that I root against all the time. And if you watch me, you'll figure it out sooner or later. I love Notre Dame's uniforms, but I always root against them. You know, I think they have just the smoothest looking. Those Kelly green uniforms are on point. But Jackson Johnson. Okay, one more last. Okay. Like West Virginia, my favorite team, Aztec fan. Okay, got it. Irks me because they're so close by and they're sibling right. Yeah, I get it. Kind of like Marshall. Jackson, come in and become a YouTube member at the fan, at WVU Football, at the Voice of College Football, where you can have a loyalty badge next to your name and give member shout outs. Yeah, like and subscribe. And then if you want to join, you go on, you log in, and you pay the, what is it, Jackson? How much is that a month? Is it $2.99 or $1.99? Yeah, we completely understand what you're saying, Bob. Make sure I got all the good comments. All comments are good comments. Yes, guys. So this hour has flown by, guys. We talked about Utah. We talked about my top 5. The Mountaineers did not make my top 5 stadium. They're gonna call me up and revoke my season tickets. They're gonna tell me I'm not allowed to come into Morgantown. What do you think? I'm just not trying to be one of those, I don't know, Homer fans that, I love my team. But I know there's other teams out there that have good vibes. And we're talking about stadiums. We're not talking about the vibes. We're talking about the stadiums. And I just don't think Mountaineer Field, it's pretty vanilla, And there's other ones out there that are have a lot more going for them, I'm not a big fan of the slapping the coal as they go in. They just added that man, whatever they call it. Mountaineer man something. Where they touch coal as they go in. They're trying to be someone they're not. Okay? You have culture there. Just embrace it. You just like Nebraska has their culture, and Auburn has their culture, and Ole Miss and West Point has their culture. Syracuse has, even though their team is shit, they have history there. Don't try to be something you're not. Guys, thanks again. Any more comments that I missed out on? Yes, you can be okay. So if you're starting lineup $9.99 member, you can collect all social media member shoutouts, discounted merchandise on WV football at the Voice of College Football. So for $9.99 a month, you get a discount on Mountaineer, on merchandise on the West Virginia football at the Voice of College Football. Guys, the tiers are bench warmer $199, second string $499, starting lineup $999, and elite $14.99. Guys, do it. Hit me up. Like, subscribe. Yeah, Mouth of Mountains. Love some coos. Yeah, he's a great guy. Great guy. I've talked to him a lot here and there. Not a lot. Talked to him on the phone once or twice. Really knowledgeable. Great passion for the sport. Guys, if you want to hear more, I will be on here tomorrow. We're talking Mountaineer football tomorrow. Okay? And talk a little bit about the schedule and a lot about tailgating tomorrow. Some good tailgating memories. So if you have a tailgating memory, come on the show. In the comments, think about some good tailgating stories. I have a few. It's going to be PG, maybe PG-13, not real bad. Talk about some beer, maybe some brats, brisket, pepperoni rolls, whatever you're getting at the tailgate. Where do you park? How much you paying for parking? We're going to talk about all those wonderful things tomorrow night on the Voice of College Football, the West Virginia channel. So, with that being said, I bid you a great Thursday night, and I will see you tomorrow.